Cameron. Good afternoon, everybody. First, let's talk about the cost of living. Why is it so expensive to buy groceries, to rent or own a home, to keep the lights on, or to drive on what should be safe roads? It's because it's too hard to build anything in this country. A supermarket, a house, a road, a power station. It often takes longer to get permission than it does to build the darn thing. That's insane. Look at IKEA in Auckland. They were told they had to invite 7 different iwi groups to conduct cultural monitoring, to say karakia or prayers and conduct other ceremonies at every single stage of construction. They had to consult iwi on erosion control, stormwater treatment, fencing, planting, walkways, you name it. They were even told they had to grant these groups on-demand access to the worksite at any time for monitoring. You can't make this stuff up. And this is not an isolated case. I recently obtained copies of the resource consents for solar farms in Central Hawke's Bay. Those consents demanded iwi to say a prayer whenever a native plant was removed, and to build a viewing area for people who might want to rock up, park up and look at a solar farm. Look, they had to provide detailed planting plans, spreadsheet level detail on what species would go where and how far apart. These are just the projects that survived to get built, but too many die before they even start. They're buried under layers of objections from people whose property or environment isn't even affected. And those rights to object are not awarded equally. They often depend on your ancestry. And when vetoes don't kill a project outright, the lasagna of conditions that we layer up, so thick, many investors just give up. One of those solar companies actually went bust. They went into liquidation before a single shovel even entered the ground. Their project was uneconomic. Many others take one look at our rules and say, we'll just go and invest somewhere else, different country. It's killing jobs, it's killing opportunity, and it's stifling progress in New Zealand. And let's be honest about what it's actually doing to our culture. Because some developers are now offering these conditions proactively, hoping councils and people who might object will approve their proposals faster. You pay for this culture of compliance in your power bill, and you pay for it at the checkout. And the root cause is the Resource Management Act, the RMA. This 30-year-old law was designed to allow development and protect the environment, but it's actually failed miserably at both. And that is why ACT is leading the charge to scrap it. We're going to replace the old RMA with a new system entirely based on property rights, common sense, and this radical idea that people in New Zealand can have nice things. Who knew? I will say that the new system will say that your land is your land and you can do with it what you like, as long as you're not harming others' property or the environment. Under Act's reforms, homes will get built. We will have infrastructure like a first world country, and we won't be arguing for a generation about where it goes and what gets built. We'll have new energy generation. It will be feasible again to build coal, gas of course, hydro, solar, and maybe one day, if we need it, nuclear. Because New Zealand must be a first world country where people don't shiver in the dark in winter and fear blackouts. Where businesses can expand, where people can own their own home, because the alternative is what we have now. A generation that's on the brink of giving up. People leaving for Australia at record rates. Anyone who's bright, is left behind, has to work all the harder to ship New Zealand afloat. And now if young people see no chance of owning their own property, they'll have no problem voting to tax someone else's property. But ACT says enough of that. We are driving RMA reform, and that will make New Zealand affordable again. We will pass the new system into law in 2026, and it will come into effect in 2027. But let me make this crystal clear. None of this happens without ACT in government. We are the only party that has always said, burn the RMA to the ground and start over with a system based on property rights. So in 2026, we'll be back, we'll be asking for your vote, because to finish the job, to deliver that future, to embed a property rights-based system, we need ACT in the room. No more delays, no more excuses. It's time to build. Thank you very much.